Hey 49ers fans, I'm Thomas Mott. Welcome into Chat Sports, and today, let's take a look at the latest San Francisco 49ers news and rumors, all revolving around free agency. Before we start though, you see it over here to my right or my left, mailbag video coming up this weekend. So, use the hashtag 49ers, get your questions in down below in the comment section. I will answer as many as possible. Maybe some free agent related questions, that's what you guys should be asking. I don't know, whatever you guys want. Mailbag, hashtag 49ers down below. Without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right in. All right, let's go ahead and start with the biggest free agent the 49ers have in-house, and that is, of course, the defensive lineman Arik Armstead. We talked about Arik Armstead earlier this week, just a couple days ago, mentioning how he is going to enter the market as one of the top defensive ends and defensive linemen, I should say, in free agency, and teams are going to want to throw a lot of money at him. With the 49ers' current cap situation, they don't have a ton of money to go ahead and just give him the biggest contract that he wants, or sign him to a max deal, or get him to what they exactly want to be able to pay him to make him happy and to make him want to stay, so the franchise tag is a real option. Now, with that being said, a lot of players do not like the franchise tag because it only guarantees them 1 year of pay. They could get injured and then make no money for the rest of their career, but it looks like Arik Armstead could be open to the franchise tag because he loves the Niners so much. How about that? Take a listen to this quote from a couple of days ago. Armstead says, quote, I would love being here, trying to get back to a Super Bowl, so whoever that is seen or has to get done, it's not really my decision what they want to do with me, end quote. There are more quotes where he basically would go on and talk about how he is not opposed to the franchise tag. This one just shows that he wants to get back to a Super Bowl, any means necessary, get him back on the 49ers. This is fantastic news for 49er fans, because you look at Arik Armstead's stats this year: 10 sacks, 32 tackles, 2 fumbles for a loss, I should say, excuse me, and 22 quarterback hits. He was a disruptor on a defensive line front that has a lot of great pieces that are taking sacks away from him. Remember, Nick Bosa balled out. D4, when he was in there, he balled out. It's hard to get yours when a lot of other guys are getting theirs on a defensive front like this, and yet Armstead was able to. So we know how great he is. The problem that we all wonder, can they afford to pay him? Because some team is going to roll into free agency with a ton of money, and you could be one of the lesser teams. I don't have a full list of who has the most money in terms of cap space, but some team is going to throw 10, 15, maybe even $16 million a year at him. That could come down between 10 and 16, 13, 14, 15. You guys get the deal. Clowney got like $13 million in a franchise tag last year, so if he wants a little bit more than Clowney over the course of 3 or 4 years, it could be $14 or $15 million. And you would think that Armstead, you know, being like every other NFL player who wants to make as much money as possible, don't blame them at all, I would do the exact same thing, would leave and take the deal. But again, it looks like Armstead is very much in love with this team, is very much in love with the vision. I think keeping Robert Saleh is a huge part of that as your defensive coordinator, and he wants to come back and might just give us the franchise tag discount, which would be the very rare situation where we franchise tag a player and then he's not upset about it, but he's like, all right, makes sense, sounds good. We'll give it one more run and then see what happens in free agency in 2021. So great news overall to start this video off regarding Arik Armstead. Again, I don't know what they're going to have to pay him. The free agent defensive lineman market might be a little bit undersaturated, meaning the money could be a little bit more if you wanted to go to the open market. He's making, you know, right about $10 million, and so would you want to get a little bit more than that? What's the franchise tag? About 13, maybe more than that there. I would say comfortably, before I see all these comments of, oh, we wouldn't pay him that, or oh, that's too little, between 10 and 15 to $16 million is that range a year. Where will it fall if they sign to a long-term deal, and where will it fall if they fall to a franchise tag? We'll keep you updated on what happens with Arik Armstead. Quick ad break here, don't worry about it. Watch the ad, let the ad run above, scroll down, answer the question here. Should the 49ers keep Arik Armstead by any means necessary? Is he a can't-lose guy? Should they keep Arik Armstead by any means necessary? Let me know in the comment section down below. All right, how about some wide receiver injury news updates that helps out with free agency? How about this guy? You know, I read every single comment on the channel, and people always kind of sneak in a question about one of our injured wide receivers, which, by the way, we had like 80 billion injured wide receivers this year. They always want to know, how's Trent Taylor? Is Trent Taylor going to come back? Could he be an option in terms of moving him to the active roster and being an actual playing participant on the wide receiver roster in 2021 and 2020, I should say? You know what? I'm going to give you some good news on Trent Taylor. So he had surgery on the fractured foot all the way back in August, and then had like 4 more surgeries because of complications. Put on IR, didn't play this year. He's actually, and here's your good news, hoping for medical clearance next week, meaning full participation in OTAs and offseason training activities, and obviously getting to training camp and into the 2020 season. So this is excellent news for Trent Taylor, who's going to add some wide receiver depth to a wide receiver group that is young, that is good, but also could lose Emmanuel Sanders, as we've talked about, therefore having a little bit of a depth issue overall. Now, Taylor, over his career, over the past 2 years, 29 games, 69 catches, 9.3 yards per catch, and 3 touchdowns, but is still a bright, wide receiver prospect in the 49er offense going forward. And again, depth is the key here, because as we look at San Francisco going into the next year, we expect Deebo Samuel to have a continued rise. We expect Jalen Hurd to kind of show off in what will be his de facto rookie year. Who's that third guy, right? Do they re-sign Kendrick Bourne? Do they bring back Marcus Goodwin? Like, what do? They draft somebody? Trent Taylor could be kind of that third or fourth option on the wide receiver depth chart that we kind of forgot about, but could be a very, very surprise addition to the wide receiver group. But at least we know, in the update here, the injury is officially over. He should be medically cleared next week. Expect him to be out there training all offseason and then there for OTAs and all the offseason workout programs that the 49ers will have. We talk about the wide receiver draft rankings. You could always draft a wide receiver if you wanted to. A lot of these guys might not be there at number 31, but if you wanted to trade up, there's Judy, there's Lamb, there's Ruggs, Rager from TCU. There are some really, really good ones, and there's good ones later on. So if you were to trade back out of the first round, pick up an additional second or a third round draft pick, because they don't have a second or a third round draft pick. We talked about that earlier this week. Then you could go ahead and draft a wide receiver if you don't trust a guy like Trent Taylor to kind of be your number 3 or number 4 or number 5 wide receiver on that depth chart. Question here, do the 49ers need to draft a wide receiver? Type Y down below for yes, type N down below for no. Let me know in the comment section down below. Also, we know the 49ers games are officially over, so all you bet-happy people like to bet on football are unable to, but guess what? Our friends at BetDSI still have you covered for betting in the offseason, aka baseball, college basketball, NBA. There's a lot of other sports, trust me, besides the 49ers to bet on. Use our friends BetDSI, chatsports.com/bet. Use our promo code 49ers. You get a 120% deposit bonus whenever you first sign up, meaning put $100 down, it will turn into $220 right there for your betting pleasure. I'm telling you, there's some good teams to bet on in the NBA. Maybe you throw some money on the Heat. I don't know. They just made a big trade. Different video. Let's move on. Still, chatsports.com/bet, promo code 49ers. Okay, I have to preface this, because you probably saw it in the title of the YouTube video talking about Tom Brady. You're probably going, Thomas, why are we talking about Tom Brady? The 49ers are not going to go out and sign Tom Brady. Listen, I agree, but there was a USA Today article that laid out 3 reasons why the 49ers should sign Tom Brady. I figured I'd share with you, but the disclaimer is this: I do not want to sign Tom Brady. Do not go in the comment section and be like, Thomas is an idiot because he wants Tom Brady. I mean, say it again. Can you hear me? I do not want Tom Brady. I am reporting why the USA Today thinks we should sign Tom Brady, okay? Disclaimer. Let's go in. Brady, free agent. We know that. Recently moved to Vegas. I know Mitchell over at the Raiders Report here for Chat Sports is super excited about that, as he should be. But, as I've said before, I don't want Tom Brady here, but apparently other people want Jimmie Garoppolo gone and replaced with Tom Brady. So, let's just lay it out. Here are USA Today's 3 reasons for Tom Brady. Number 1, Brady would be better late in football games. I mean, I guess he has more late game credential than Jimmie Garoppolo because he's played for like 50 years and has had a ton of great comebacks. Is that... Man, I don't know. Is that a real reason to go ahead and sign Tom Brady over Jimmie Garoppolo? Was Jimmie Garoppolo that bad late in the games in a 13-win season? Like, was he really that bad? Went to the Super Bowl? I don't really think so. But again, USA Today is what they say. Number 2, Brady still has 2 good years left. Interesting, right? I think Brady has 1 good year left, so you'd probably be signing him to a 1-year deal. But if he has 2, sign him to a 2-year, $60 million deal, give him $30 million from year to year. I guess that's the USA Today's thought here. Okay, it makes sense. And finally, and this was fascinating in the USA Today article, they just kind of threw out there that John Lynch loves Tom Brady without backing it up in any way. There was no quote on Lynch saying, oh, well, we love Tom Brady. And there's no, like, history there because Lynch was a Buck and then he was a Bronco, so he played against Brady, but I don't know why they picked that as well. But again, I figured I'd share with you guys the 3 reasons. We all kind of laughed together. Here's the deal. And these are very bad reasons, by the way. I don't know why the USA Today did this, but I'm just reporting the news. The 49ers are not going to sign Tom Brady. if the 49ers did sign Tom Brady, you're essentially hooking up your Super Bowl window to a 2-year cart, meaning after 2 years, you then have to go find a new quarterback, which resets the whole process. It just doesn't make sense. The 49ers are built for the next 5 years. They're built for the next decade. They're built for not next year, the year after. It's like LeBron saying not 4, not 5, not 6. They are built to win more. Does not mean they will. It's hard to do in the National Football League, but the talent is young enough and it's there. Why would you hitch your wagon to a 2-year time bond like Tom Brady, who, again, does he have enough left to lead him to a Super Bowl? I don't think so. So I wanted to report here, but I'm not of the one to say that we should go out and sign Tom Brady. Before we move on to our final bit of free agency news, be sure to subscribe. Subscribe just because I'm defending Jimmie Garoppolo. If you like Jimmie Garoppolo, subscribe to the channel because I defend him every single day from all the haters out there. We're almost at 15,000 subs. We greatly appreciate the bosses. Would love that for me. So again, subscribe, red button down below. I would appreciate it. And also, hang on, before we move on again, I forgot about this. This is big, right? See, I almost forgot about Valentine's Day. That means you almost forgot about Valentine's Day, meaning I'm going to help you out for Valentine's Day with some flowers for your special someone. Maybe just get flowers for your mom. If you're a young boy watching this channel, like 17, 18, 15, 14, get something for your mother for Valentine's Day. She'd be through the roof. Why don't you use our friends at ProFlowers, chatsports.com/flowers, 15% off any order that you want right now. Chatsports.com/flowers, 15% off. I'm challenging. You know what? Comment down below if you guys are going to order some flowers for your mom. I'm telling you, if you're a young man, if you're an older man, and you randomly send your mom flowers on Valentine's Day when she doesn't expect it, she's going to go through the moon, and we'll help you out here. Chatsports.com/flowers, 15% off any order, and you'll see the link in the description box down below. All right, no more flowers. Back to football here quickly. Jimmie Ward, he's a free agent, but he wants to stay with San Francisco. It's very similar to the Arik Armstead stuff we were talking about earlier on in this video. We know how vital he is to the 49ers secondary, and we know the 49ers really might not be able to afford them if they want to re-sign Armstead and Emmanuel Sanders, but at least he wants to return to San Francisco. This is the also, before I do this quote, little side note, this is the perk of having a super well-run organization with head coaches and defensive coordinators and players. They like playing together because they're willing to take discounts. Here's Ward on free agency. Quote, the 49ers have the upper hand right now. This is where I would like to be. I like to continue playing for this great organization. Again, Jimmie Ward was fantastic this year. We guys know that. We know that he, wasn't a top 5 safety in the league, but still it's a top 10 safety in the National Football League, which I think bodes well for his future contract. But he just gave the Niners the upper hand, saying, hey, listen, I want to play here. This is my #1 pick. I want to be a 49er, so hopefully negotiations could be a little bit team-friendly, but we'll go ahead and wait and see. I will say this, though, about Jimmie Ward. It's not a very deep defensive end draft, a.k.a. if you want to get rid of Armstead and draft his replacement, it's not that deep. It is a deep wide receiver draft, a.k.a. if you want to get rid of Emmanuel Sanders. It is also a pretty deep safety draft, starting off with Grant Delpit, who most likely will be there at number 31 overall, unless someone wants to jump up and grab the LSU safety. So we show you guys the list of top safeties in the league. That still stands in terms of top safeties in the draft going into the league year, I should say. That still stands. Any one of those could most likely be there at 31. So if you need a cap casualty, if you need a free agent to be let go, it looks like Ward could be that guy, but maybe he takes a discount. I don't know. I'll have to go ahead and wait and see. Final question here. Who's more important, Ward or Armstead? Type W down below for Ward. Type A down below for Armstead. I think I know the answer, but maybe, maybe you don't agree with that and you want to type Ward. I would type A. You could type W. That's fine. There you go. All time we have for today on the latest 49ers report here. Free agency, man, a couple of weeks away. It's only going to get more and more interesting. But the good takeaway from this, one, we're not getting Tom Brady. That should be good news for you. And two, the free agents in-house want to stay in San Francisco. Hopefully, we're able to sign everybody and make another run to the Super Bowl next year. For Chat Sports, I'm Thomas Mott, signing off. Enjoy the rest of your day.